west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. One west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. They ain't scaring me. Rip the soul out of Pharisee. Speaking heresy, it get you fucked up apparently. It's like they daring me. I said chill, they ain't hearing me. They ain't listening. Every bar nitroglycerin. Hit your heart, bring it back to start, make you live again. Get them dividends or we start getting ignorant. I be on that soldier shit. I told you shit phenomenal. Nobody abdominal. So what you suckers trying to do? Rhyming comical, guess it's funny until I'm bombing you. Bring apocalypse to them pussy niggas that's popping shit. Team of all-stars, I coach them up like I'm Popovich. Fuck the politics and the lobbyists and apologists. They vagina, so we gon' check them like gynecologists. It's kinda obvious how the situation is ominous. The way I vomit this and regurgitate for the audience. They start applauding this cause the competition is fraudulent. From the era where niggas smoke you up like a parliament. The flow been stupid, shit has gotten retarded since all the dominance of one west rising to prominent. Cause I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. They want a nigga quiet, mute my maneuvers, but I ride like I got group vibes for Uber. Rhymes hard like they've been viewed by Medusa. 9 milli Luger, 17 in the Ruger. Only need a few to sit up in your medulla. Obligata for the regatta, niggas wildin', they win every dollar. They riding by black Impalas, let the semi holler. The showstopper been a stopper since the teeny bopper. But now I'm going on my Patron, premium of vodka. I put extensions on the Glock, modify the chopper. The war heavy, war ready, and that's working mama. No marijuana, say I got the loudest silence on it. When I'm up on it, ain't no rapper do it like I do it. A lot of spitties and writers, but when they eat song, none of them can get to the fire around with me. And I had them niggas spin like a tire, down the deep. And I'm still dope as a piper. Every bar burn hard like a spoon with a lighter. Fuel igniter, I'm winning, coming through with the title because I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me.
All right, clap it up. This is Israelite School Universal Graphic Knowledge. Started on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. I'm the Commander General Your Honor. Today is the Wednesday night law class in Austin, Texas. Taking any questions you have in the room, taking any questions online. Share the class, you know what I'm saying? So we can get some questions in here. Other than that, today I want to kind of break down the foundations of what the Bible is about. A lot of people have a misconception of what this whole thing is about, what life is about. So I kind of want to give out some milk so that people can kind of get some groundwork to understand what's going on. So I'll go over that at the end of class, but we got any questions in the room? Go ahead.
I was wondering why is it separate from the Bible?
The Apocrypha is separate from the Bible because the Protestants, they took it out. That's what it was, during one of the councils. They took it out. The Apocrypha makes the Bible a history book. It makes it, okay, it makes it to where it's undeniable history because it mentions Alexander. You know what I mean? And it shows the different captivity we were in. One thing that Christians don't realize is in Daniel's vision, it talked about Babylon, it talked about the Persian and the Medes, it talked about Greece, and it talked about Rome. In the Old Testament, it stops at Babylon and the Persian and the Medes. And then in the New Testament, it starts in Rome, with Rome. But there's no Greece. So where's Greece? Where's the Greece captivity? Where's the Greco-Roman Where's the captivity of the Greeks? Right here in the heart. Right? So, which no one has an answer for outside of the Apocrypha. So the reason it's pulled out, and let me show you how we know it was just yanked out. Go to Esther in the Bible, and then somebody else go to the rest of the rest of Esther in the Apocrypha. What you got? You got the book of Esther. Go to chapter 10, verse 2. And then somebody else go to the rest of Esther. Go ahead, read what you got. Read what you got in Esther.
It's the book of Esther, chapter 10, verse 2. And all the acts of his power and of his might and the declaration of the greatness of Mordecai were unto the king against him, are they not written in the book of the chronicles of the king of Media and Persia?
Media and Persia. And then stop where? That's it. Just stop in the middle of a statement. In the book of Esther. Right? So let's stop there at verse 3, right? And then in the book of in the rest of Esther, in the Apocrypha, where does it start?
Verse 4.
Verse 4.
Good night.
So in verse 4, why? Because whoever snatched out there just took a chunk of it out like it was.
Good night.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's not in there. All right?
Thank
Any other questions? Go ahead. Okay.
Question is, finding those wives people from America, someone to come back to our country,
Brother said, why is multiple wives so frowned upon? And how do you get people to come back to your culture to follow? Okay, the number one reason that multiple wives is frowned upon is because of monogamy, right? Monogamy is a white man's culture. Every other culture outside of white culture, the people are not monogamous. Everybody is. They're not monogamous. Asians, the Africans, the Arabs, the Japanese, all of them, East Indians, everybody has a culture of multiple wives. The white man used monogamy as a way to raise himself in power, right? So initially, your inheritance would go to your son, right? It wouldn't go to your wife. Wife didn't get inheritance. So let's say you got 3 wives, 12 sons. Then I would give my inheritance. I'll give a portion of my inheritance to my oldest son. I'll give another portion of my inheritance to my oldest son from my other wife. I'll give another portion of my inheritance to my oldest son from my other wife. Now, what would that oldest son do with the inheritance? He would take care of the rest of the family. He would take care of his mother and his siblings. He would take care of his mother and his siblings. He would take care of his mother and his siblings. So now, if the white man is trying to marry into the family, the white man used to marry into the family. Say your family is royalty, right? Well, if he married them, if you were the king, he wanted to make it to where he can marry the queen and now become the king. But he couldn't do that if the sons were the inheritors. You understand what I'm saying? Got to follow this. So what they had to do was say, all of your sons from these other women are illegitimate children. They are bastards. And the only children that matters is this wife's children who you have a contract with. Okay? You understand that, right? So now I kill all of the sons, and who's left? The wife. So now I can inherit the seed of her husband because the inheritors are gone. Only through monogamy. You couldn't do that with a man having more than one wife. So his system was set up so that him coming out of the caves, he could find a way to get in power. And they used monogamy. And they made monogamy popular through their culture. The Roman culture, through the Roman Catholic Church, through Christianity, that became the thing. Christ taught against this because he saw people going into this in his time. Go to Matthew 19. This is one of the most mistranslated scriptures in the Bible. Where is it at? You thought John 3:16 was mistranslated. This one right here, they even butchered this. Start at verse 6. Start at verse 5. Let's start at what strengthens their point. Read that.
Count on one time, sir. And this is book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 5. And it is said, for this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife.
His what?
His wife.
Oh, this that right there. You see, the Bible says his wife, not his wives. That's what they're going to say. Right? Keep going.
Count on one time. And they twine shall be one flesh.
And now these two people are becoming one. What makes them become one? The sex. So now the first part of it, which Christians can't stand to hear, sex is the marriage.
Right.
Not the ring, not the paperwork. It's the intercourse. What is this? This is making sex more serious. Now, a man can have more than one wife. Absolutely. But this doesn't give him the liberty to go out and sleep with multiple people.
Right.
Because now he is becoming one with multiple women. And now he has the responsibility of maintaining and handling the affairs and the problems of these multiple women because of sex. So the first thing that you're going to learn is sex is where the marriage starts. Not with the ring. There's so many women around here giving their box up every day because they don't have a ring. And what you're about to find out is they're committing adultery and committing fornication with every act of sex. Keep going.
Count on one time, sir. Verse 6. Wherefore they are no more twine, but one flesh. What therefore God has joined together, let no man put asunder.
What the Lord has joined together, what is the Lord joining together? What is he saying the Lord put together? The marriage. That sex was ordained by the Lord. Don't let nobody break it apart. Keep going.
Count on one time, sir. Verse 7. Then say unto him, why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement and to put her away?
So what is this argument over? Which is what? It's one word. Divorce. That's what this is about. Why? Because people were trying to find a way to divorce their wives. We're going to find out why they wanted the divorce. Go ahead.
Count on the one
So
concept.
they asked Christ. But Moses gave us the bill of divorce. Keep going.
To put her away.
Go ahead.
Slakia. Verse 7. Then say unto him, why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement and to put her away? Verse 8. He said unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts, suffered you to put away your wives.
Because y'all was in the house. Now imagine, Moses is in the wilderness with the Israelites. Moses didn't have the Israelites in the land of Israel. His time with them was in the wilderness while we were traveling and moving for 40 years. He's trying to keep everybody together, keep everybody sane. We already mad that we moving and ain't getting to where we going. So because of the hardness of their heart, what's the hardness of their heart? You were fighting every day. Y'all was about to kill each other every day in the wilderness. So since there was so much friction in the wilderness, so much fighting between you and the woman, what is he saying? Man, let her go. Damn, I just break up. Moses, because of the hardness of your heart, allowed you to divorce. Keep going.
God on the one concept. But from the beginning, it was not so.
From what?
From the beginning, it was not so.
From the beginning, divorce was something. Okay, divorce is a eject button.
Right.
Right? Your marriage shouldn't have an eject button. Ain't that what they say in monogamy? To have and to hold, for better and for worse, for richer or for poor, to death do us part. Monogamy is the belief that when can the marriage end? At death. That's what monogamy is supposed to be.
Right.
But what we're going to find out is people that believe in monogamy don't believe in monogamy. Because monogamy is you sleep with one man and you have one man for the rest of your life until you die. If you leave him and he don't die, then you are a serial monogamist. Because now you're leaving this person, and then you get mad at him. You leave this person because you feel like you got cheated on. You leave this person. So now where in the hell is the monogamy? There is none. Because the monogamy is only real when it's one man. Women. Right? Keep going.
God on the one kind. Verse 9. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication.
Now Christ is telling you when you can put your wife away. There is a reason to leave each other outside of death. The only way you can put away your wife is if it's for what?
Fornication.
For what?
Fornication.
Because she's crazy.
Fornication.
Because she cuss you out.
Fornication.
She breaking your windows.
Fornication.
She go through your clothes.
Fornication.
I mean, she cut your clothes up.
Fornication.
The only reason you can leave her is because she committed fornication. Keep going.
God on the one concert. And shall marry another.
And should do what?
Marry another.
See, this is what they were doing. They were leaving their wives and divorcing their wives to do what?
Marry another.
Marry another. Forced monogamy is a sin. Because what they were doing was saying, if you want to be with her, you got to divorce her to be with her. Christ is saying, whosoever put his wife away, except it be for fornication, and marry another, read,
committed adultery.
You are committing adultery. That's adultery. To leave a woman to get another woman. So what is Christ telling you to do? What is he saying? Stay with her. Don't leave her to get another one. Because if you do that, you're committing adultery. Keep going.
Sir. And whoso marrieth her, which is put away, doth commit adultery.
And so now, since sex is marriage, you put your wife away, but she hasn't committed fornication. She hasn't slept with another man. You just divorced her to go marry someone else. Well, when she marries someone else, now that brother is committing adultery. Now she's committing adultery because she's sleeping with another man, but you put her away. That's the sin, is to put her away to marry another. Go ahead.
All right. Christians and fake Israelites, they read Matthew all the time. But I know a lot of pastors that were divorced and remarried and all.
Okay,
So I just wonder, what?
Okay,
they just glossed over that?
They don't understand what adultery is.
Count out of one kind.
Okay, a Christian thinks adultery is,
okay.
What do they believe it is? They believe adultery is, what is it? They believe what is it?
You with somebody and you go with somebody else, they call it cheating.
Cheating. And then they think, okay, let's break down the sexual sins, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is fornication? Unlawful sex. So what is unlawful sex? Homosexual sex, bestiality, committing adultery,
Pornography,
child pedophilia, all those type of things are unlawful sex, right? That's fornication. Adultery is if a woman that is married sleeps with another man that's not her husband, or if a man sleeps with a married woman. That's adultery. If a man is married and he sleeps with another woman that is single, what he just did was got another wife. But if he sleeps with a woman that has a husband, he just committed adultery. That's the difference, right? And then whoremongers. What's a whoremonger? That's what everybody thinks whoremongering is. Everybody thinks whoremongering is a man that's just going around sleeping with all types of women. You're a whoremonger. You're a whoremonger. Look up monger.
Oh, yeah. I was going to answer.
Let's look up what a monger is. Looking it up will make you never forget it. You got it? Go ahead. Come up. I can't hear you. They need to hear you online.
Denoting a dealer or trader in a specified commodity.
Denoted a dealer or a trader in a specified commodity. So if you are a chicken monger, what do? You sell chicken. If you're a fish monger, then what do you do? You sell fish. If you're a whoremonger, then what are you? You're a pimp. Pimping ain't old. I mean, it ain't new.
That's right.
Pimping old. That's why it's in the Bible. Whoremongers. Pimping is a sin. It is fornication. It's unlawful sex that leads to adultery. Because now this woman is going in the room having sex with him. The two is becoming one flesh. Then she go out and sleep with him, and now the two has become one flesh. She just committed adultery on him, and he committed adultery on him because now he's sleeping with her husband. They don't teach you this about sex growing up. That's why they say you can have a boyfriend and a girlfriend. Y'all can have sex. Y'all can just try it out, and then you can say, "Oh, no, I'm good." And so now you're going to leave each other, go have sex with another person, and commit adultery against the first man. That's why you are born in sin and shaped in iniquity, what the Bible calls it. So now getting to multiple wives. Multiple wives is your culture. The nation of Israel was built on multiple wives. Jacob had how many wives?
4.
4 wives, right? If Jacob's sons were sins, they would not be the children of the promise. If the Lord didn't ordain it, because he said the two become one flesh and it's good, right? If he didn't ordain it, then he wouldn't have named all 12 tribes as his children. That's what the Most High would have said, no, the only ones that I ordained is the sons that come from Leah, because she was your first wife. But no, we have all 12 tribes from all 4 women, because the Lord ordained all 4 marriages, because a man can have more than one wife. Abraham had a wife. He had 2 wives, Sarah and Hagar. And what did he do with Hagar's son? He cast them away. Why? Because it was not the son of promise. So the Lord showed you, I'm not gonna let this child inherit this, because I didn't want him to be a part of this inheritance. So he would have did the same thing with the 12 tribes, right? Y'all understand what the hell I'm saying, because y'all look confused. Go ahead.
Sir, I don't have a question, but I heard some person say, they said, you have one wife, you can build a family, but if you have multiple, you can build a nation.
Give him a hand. If you have one wife, you can build a family, but if you have multiple, you can build a nation. That's what Israel did. What Jacob did. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, the Lord he separates a lot, because he did it with Jacob and Esau as well.
Yes. So now we're going to go to the law. Now we're going to go to the law of multiple wives. Let me do Deuteronomy 21. Now let me tell you, this is just a thing that plagues women, right? Rightfully so, which I understand. It plagues women. But let me ask women this question. This is something that's lawful according to God, right? I'm about to read it. While we're reading this, I want you to think of something else that's right that you are against.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21, verse 15. If a man have 2 wives,
One wife.
2 wives.
Why would it say that? Would the Bible say if a man got 2 husbands? Would it say that? Why not? Because it's a sin. This is in the law to tell you how to deal with your 2 wives. If a man has 2 wives, go ahead.
One beloved and another hated.
He got one wife that he can't stand because she get on his nerves. And he got one that he loves. Go ahead.
Sir. And another, and they both, and they have borne him children.
Mm-hmm.
Both the beloved and the hated.
Go ahead.
And if the firstborn son be hers that was hated, verse 16, then it shall be, when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he has, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn.
What does that say? He's saying, if you got 2 wives, let me make it in layman's terms. You got 2 baby mamas. You got 2 baby mamas. Your first baby mama, you can't stand her, right? And the second one, you love her. She's the sweet one. Y'all together and happy, right? Well, when you about to give your inheritance, you can't scrub your first son his inheritance because you don't like his mama. You got to give your first son the inheritance that's due to him because it belongs to him.
That's right.
Now this mama, don't hurt him because you don't like her. This is the law of multiple wives. All right? So now women can't stand multiple wives. Women say, if you're going to be on this multiple wives stuff, I don't want to be with you. All right, that's fine. So now you're going to go and be with a man that's going to lie and cheat on you. He's going to still sleep with other women. He's just going to do it behind your back. And then when you find out, you're going to break up with him, and you're going to go and get with another man, and the cycle is going to repeat because you think you're being cheated on. But the truth of the matter is you're not. God said that a man can have more than one wife. So now back to my initial question. What other law is right that you don't agree with? You don't agree with that? I'm talking about women, period. It's about people. Because women don't agree with a man can have more than one wife. But the Lord said he can. So what other law do you not agree with that's right? God said that you can eat salmon. Do you agree with that? You do. God said that you can, all the things God said you can do, which one of them do you not agree with? But that's unlawful. I'm talking about something that is lawful. That the point of it is there is no other law in the Bible that women and people don't agree with that's right. There's the only one they don't agree with that's right, multiple wives. That's the only one. Everything else, when the Bible says that's what you do, they change and do it. So it's just something in you got to learn your culture. You got to stop being so American. You will never understand multiple wives if you're in a marriage. I don't expect you to. This is Israelite culture. All right?
That's right. I got one in them.
Come on.
All right, this is from Sister Adna. Says, Salakia, sir, if I could ask, is it lawful or unlawful to lie to the devil that the Bible speaks of, or lie to your enemies?
It's unlawful to lie. So it's unlawful to lie to a white man.
Time on the one count, sir.
All right, that's it. Go ahead.
Breakdown of Zechariah 13, verse 1 to 3.
Come on.
And I was wondering, is that future prophecy?
All right, let's read it.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 13, verse 1. In that day there shall be a fountain open to the house of David and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem for sin and for uncleanness. Part 2 of Slakia, verse 2. And it shall come to pass in that day, says the Lord of hosts, that I will cut off the names of the idols out of the land, and they shall no more be remembered.
This is future. This is what we're trying to make happen right now. The idols are going to be pushed out of the land of Israel. Keep going.
God on one concert. And I also I will cause the prophets and the unclean spirits to pass out of the land.
Keep going.
God on one concert, verse 3. And it shall come to pass that when any shall yet prophesy, then his father and his mother that begat him shall say unto him, Thou shalt not live, for thou speakest lies in the name of the Lord.
That's what you're going through right now. Right now, your mama and your daddy don't want to hear what you got to say because they think you are speaking lies in the Lord's name. You're going to go out there and get killed saying that stuff. You out there lying on Jesus? Don't nobody care what color Jesus is. You speaking lies in his name. Keep going.
God on the one concert. And his father and his mother that begat him shall thrust him through when he prophesied.
And they're going to push you and they're going to try to kill you. they're gonna beat you up because they hate when you come in the house prophesying against them cigarettes, prophesying against that your homosexual sister, prophesying against the Christmas tree and the pork on the table for Thanksgiving. You come in the house prophesying, get the hell out of my house. They don't want to hear all that. They don't want to hear that. Read the next verse.
Got on the one con, sir. Verse 4. And in that day, Slakia, and it shall come to pass in that day that the prophet shall be ashamed, every one of his vision. When he hath prophesied, neither shall they wear a rough garment to deceive.
See that? There, he get weak because his mommy and daddy don't want to hear it. So now he take off his garment. He don't want to look rough anymore. He don't want to go out and teach no more because it's too offensive to people.
Damn.
So he stopped prophesying and stopped telling people about the visions that God's given him. Keep going.
Got on the one con, sir. Verse 5. But he shall say, I am no prophet. I am an husband. For man taught me to keep cattle from my youth.
I'm not a prophet. I'm a farmer.
Damn.
What do you stop doing? You stop being a priest and prophet of the Lord and go and do what? Go get a slavery. Because mommy and daddy doesn't like the truth. Because they don't want to listen to what you got to say. You take your garment off, take your headpiece off, you sit it down and you say, you know what? I'm going to go back to what I've been doing since I was a kid. I'm going to be a farmer. That's what you're looking at happening right now. Okay? Any more? That's good? Go ahead.
Zechariah chapter 12, verse 4.
Okay.
That's learning like what's been going on since I would say 1969 plus.
Read that chapter 12, verse 4.
Got on the one con, sir. It's the book of Zechariah, chapter 12, verse 4. In that day, says the Lord, I will smite every horseman with astonishment, and his riders with madness. And I will open up my eyes upon the house of Judah, and will smite every horse of the people with blindness.
Keep going.
God, I don't want to concern. Verse 5. And the governors of Judah shall say in their heart, the inhabitants of Jerusalem shall my strength in the Lord, shall be my strength in the Lord, host of their God.
Keep going.
God on the one cut. Verse 6. In that day I will make the governors of Judah like an heart of fire among the wood, and like a torch of fire in the sheath. And they shall devour all the people round about, on the right hand and on the left. And Jerusalem shall be inhabited again in her own place, even in Jerusalem.
Day of the Lord. Who are the governors? Yes, that's the 144. The new rulers. That's who that is. It's the people that the Lord put in charge. Keep reading.
Verse 7. The Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah.
Yeah, because Judah is the prominent house. So, like, the nation has been learning about who we are through the tribe of Judah, right? Because we're the chief house right now. That's why you see so many Judites that come in the truth, and because the Lord is raising up the tents of Judah first. You know what I mean? And then we go out and wake up everybody else so that other nations wouldn't be able to say, you got this from us. Because the Lord is making this house above the other houses. Even though we're the 12 tribes, there's break and order in the tribes. A lot of us think we Judah. We Reuben and Naphtali and Gad like a mug. Don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? So the tents of Judah is being raised up amongst our brothers to wake up the nation of Israel so that we can get back in order and take our land back and go to war against our enemies. All right? No sweat. Any other questions?
Let me look up here.
Go ahead.
All right, yep. I think all right, it says, can you explain 1 Corinthians 7:2, please? One wife. Also Deuteronomy 21:10.
All right, go ahead. Give me 1 Corinthians.
Caught out of one car, sir. Let me see what that was. 7:2. All right. It's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 7, verse 2. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife.
Let every man have what?
His own wife.
To avoid what?
Fornication.
To avoid fornication, to avoid sleeping with another man's wife, you should have your what?
Own wife.
You should have your own wife. Because at this time, men were sleeping with other men's wives. Keep going.
Caught out of one car, sir. And let every woman have her own husband.
And every woman should have her own husband. Read verse 1.
Caught out of one car,
Now, this is the funniest part about this. They love to read the part about one wife, but they never want to read this verse. Read this.
Caught out of one car. So the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 7, verse 1. Now concerning the thing wherefore you wrote unto me, is it good for a man not to touch a woman?
What?
Is it good for a man not to touch a woman?
Why they don't read that scripture? They don't read the one about don't touch a woman.
Right.
They don't ever say, can you break down 1 Corinthians 7:1? Because they want to be touched.
That's right.
They want a man. That's it. They want a man. But it was reported to me commonly. That's another thing that they miss. Go back to chapter 5. Chapter 5, verse 1.
Caught out of one car,
To find out what the report he got was.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 5, verse 1. It is reported commonly that there is fornication among you, and that such fornication as is not so much as named among the Gentiles.
So it was brothers in the school that was doing things that Gentiles was doing. Keep going.
Count on the one count. That one should have his father's wife.
The one should have his what?
Father's wife.
What is his father's wife? His father's wife would be his stepmom today, sir. This brother in the school was sleeping with one of his father's wives. And it was reported to him, to Paul commonly. Keep going.
Count on the one count, sir. Verse 2. And ye are puffed up and have not rather more, that he that has done this deed might be taken away from among
you know what? They wasn't even checking the brothers.
Damn.
They was puffed up. You hit your daddy mama? I mean your daddy's rib? What was it like? How was she? That's what they was doing. They was puffed up about it. And Paul was disgusted with them. Keep going.
Count on the one count, sir. Verse 3. For verily, as absent in the body, but present in the spirit, have judged already.
He said, I ain't there. Paul was locked up. I ain't there, but I'm going to judge this situation as if I was there. Go ahead.
As though I were present, concerning him that has done so, that has so done this deed.
Go ahead.
God out of one count, sir. In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, when ye are gathered together in my spirit with the power of the Lord Jesus Christ. Verse 5. To deliver such It's like you. To deliver such an one unto Satan.
What that mean, deliver him into Satan? No. How could I deliver you to Satan? Kick you out of school. This is it. Paul was saying, if I was there in the name of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh, in the spirit of the Hamashiach, I would kick him out of the school and deliver him over to Satan. Keep going.
God on the one God. For the destruction of the flesh.
For the what?
Destruction of the flesh.
So he can go back into the world and die. Go ahead.
That the spirit may be saved in the day of the Lord.
So he could come back in the reincarnation and he could probably be a better person.
Damn.
That's what Paul said. Now that's how Paul dealt with the situation. So now we're going to go back to 7. And we're going to read this. Go ahead. And 1.
Want 1 again? Yeah. God on the one concert.
Now we're going to understand what he's talking about.
It's 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 1. Now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me.
Now this concerning what you wrote unto me.
Damn.
I done already checked you on how I would have checked this and how it. So now let me tell you the breakdown. Go ahead.
It is good for a man not to touch a woman.
It's good for a man not to touch a woman. You lustful bastards, you horny niggas.
Damn.
Keep your hands to yourself. Keep going.
Count on the one concert. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication.
Nevertheless, if you gotta touch a woman to avoid fornication,
let every man have his own wife.
Have what?
His own wife.
Have your own wife. Go ahead.
And let every woman have her own husband.
What is this doing? Making sure that what? That a man doesn't touch another man's wife and a woman only sleeps with her husband.
That's right.
That's what this is about. This ain't got nothing to do with, a man only got to be with one woman. This is just making sure you are not sleeping with someone else. All right.
We can get the other one for that.
Yeah. They said 21 and 10.
God on the one God, sir. I don't know if you went fit.
What it said?
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21, verse 10.
Like it's sad to say that he didn't have allowed sex and women didn't have different also.
No, because there are some laws that only apply to women and some that apply to men. Just like we don't have to worry about the unclean law of the cycle. So that does apply to the women. But the law, statutes, and commandments is for all of us to know and do.
That's right.
Yeah, you're right. Makes sense.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21, verse 10. When thou goest forth to war against thy enemy, and the Lord thy God has delivered them into thy hands, and thou hast taken them captive.
Mm-hmm.
That's 21 and 10. Did they want us to go into?
Keep going. I guess.
Break it down for them?
No, just keep going.
God out of one come. I know where they're going. You know that's right, sir. And they seeth among the captives a beautiful woman, and has desired unto her that thou wouldst have her to thy wife.
Right.
Then thou shalt bring her home to thine house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails.
Right.
Verse 13, and she shall put away the raiment of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in the house, and bewail her father and her mother a full month. And after that, thou shalt go into her, and she shall become thy wife.
Okay, keep going.
Count out of one concert. Verse 24, and it shall be, if thou have no delight in her, then thou shalt let her go whither she will. But thou shalt not sell her at all for money. Thou shalt not make merchandise of her, because thou hast humbled her.
Keep going.
Sir. Verse 15. If a man has 2 wives,
Stop. Verse 10 through 14 has nothing to do with 15.
exactly.
That's one situation. 10 through 14 is a situation on how to deal with a man getting a wife that he got from war. Right? That's that situation. Then 15 on down to a couple of other verses is how to deal with a man having 2 wives and how he should pass out his inheritance. None of these is saying that a man having more than 1 wife is a sin. Let me prove it. We want to talk about Jesus in the New Testament. Did Jesus talk about multiple wives? Yes. Would Christ say the kingdom of heaven is like 10 homosexuals coming to the bridegroom to be together with the bridegroom? Would Christ say that?
Sir.
Why not?
Well, that ain't it.
Because that's a sin. Right? Now, what are they trying to say about a man having more than 1 wife? Are they trying to say it's a sin?
God on the one kind.
They said it's a sin, right?
God on the one kind.
All right, then let's go to Matthew 25 and 1. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I don't know why they pulled that. I don't know if they've been watching Sonetta, but a lot of people try to use that to say that we are, just taking them and the great word.
Yeah, people just don't
What you
understand.
want, sir?
25 and 1.
God on the one kind.
People really don't understand the Bible a lot. And that's why I want to go into what I'm going to go into today.
God on the one kind, sir. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 1. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamp and went forth to meet the bridegroom.
Who is the bridegroom? Christ. How many virgins are coming to meet Christ in this parable? 10. 10 women are coming to Christ. Are they coming with the holy oil for prayer?
Damn.
What are they coming to Christ to do? Yeah, but I'm looking for a word. To get married. They coming to Christ to get married, right?
God on the one kind, sir.
And what's marriage again?
We.
That's kind of rough on Christians. Christ is about to go have sex with 10 women in the same night. Is Jesus dirty?
Sir.
Jesus unclean? I mean, according to some of you women, he is. He is just a man. Did y'all hear that? Jesus got multiple wives in this parable. Jesus got multiple wives right now. How many of your grandmas is married to Jesus?
Oh, man.
How many of your mama, if your mama married to Jesus, raise your hand. That means he got multiple wives right in this room. We in the family. Because somebody in our family is married to Jesus.
They commit adultery on their husband.
They committing adultery on their husband with Jesus. Spiritual adultery.
Spiritual adultery, sir.
I got it. Go ahead.
Cut out of one count. I just want to get marriage in the Bible for anybody who got a question.
Go ahead.
This is Genesis chapter 24, verse 67. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent and took Rebekah, and she became his wife.
She became his what?
His wife.
No, they was lovers and friends.
His wife.
He took her in that room. His mama had died. He needed some comfort. He got comforted. And she became his wife.
I don't know why I'm coming.
There wasn't no preacher in there. They ain't had no rings. It was a ring in there.
That's right. Yeah.
All right.
That's right, sir.
I think we got it.
I don't know why I'm coming.
I hope we understand this marriage thing. And I hope you understand that a man can have more than one wife. Now, let me ask you a question. Should a man have more than one? Should every man have more than one wife? No. Let me ask you like this. If you got a car, you got a car note, and you're barely paying your car note, is it wise to get another car?
Sir.
No, it's not wise. Because just because you got this car note, that doesn't mean that you can take away so that you can start paying this car note.
That's right.
You're not gonna say, "Hey, I'm gonna take it some. I'm not gonna pay the full car note this month because I gotta pay this new car note over here."
Damn.
That ain't got nothing to do with the first car note.
That's right.
You better keep paying and doing what you've been doing over here, and you better be able to maintain whatever you maintain over there. Marriage is based off of whatever you need in the relationship. That's how you set the terms in your marriage. Every marriage don't need a man. Every woman don't need a man and right come home every day. Some women, the five with the space they have, they just need them to come over when they need them.
That's right.
Talk to them when they need them. That's fine. You understand? So that's just how that goes. Is there any other question? Go ahead. Deuteronomy 32 and 22.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 22. For a fire is kindled in my anger, and shall burn into the lowest hell, and shall consume the earth with her incense, and set on fire the foundations of the mountains.
The Lord get mad, and he gonna destroy the lowest hell. What's the lowest hell?
Where we at now?
Make it plain.
Even like people in the lowest condition.
Yes. People on the street, the crackheads, the prostitutes, the people that just live in the worst condition. That's the Lord's anger. And the people in the mountains, the people at the top of society. They fallen and they burning. Everybody is feeling the anger of the Lord because of their sin against the Lord. You understand? It ain't no, oh well, he not feeling the sin. I mean, he not feeling the Lord's anger. Everybody's getting the Lord's wrath. From the top all the way down to the lowest condition. All right? That it? Go ahead.
Back to the question somebody asked earlier about is it unlawful to not to
President, right?
But I was wondering, like, is that different from in Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 20 or 19 to 20?
Go ahead.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 19, verse 20.
23, 19 to 20.
No sweat, warrior. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 19. Thou shalt not lend upon usury to thy brother, usury of money, usury of victuals, usury of anything that is lent upon usury.
Keep going.
Count on one con, sir. Verse 20. Unto a stranger thou may lend upon usury, but unto thy brother thou shalt not lend upon usury, that the Lord thy God may bless thee in all that thou settest thy hand to in the land, whether thou goest to possess it.
Go ahead.
Like, so basically, I'm asking, like, is it unlawful to, like, forget the oppression?
You can tax the hell out there, oppressor.
Right.
Don't tax your brother though. If you loan your brother $100, all your brothers should have to pay you is $100.
That's right.
But if you loan a white man $100, you can get him. He can pay you $150 back. He can pay you $200 back. No, you know why? Because he's not your brother. And that's exactly what he does to you. That's what he does. It's called interest rate.
Damn.
He taxes you and doubles, triples the amount of money that you get from him just for his convenience. Just for I had to wait for it.
Damn.
So I'm charging you extra so I can be fully accommodated when you pay me back. For me having to wait. You can absolutely do that. If an animal if you wake up and the animal is unalive in your field, they just laying there. You cannot sell that to me.
That's right.
But if you woke up in the morning and your animal was gone and dead, you could wake up and sell that to a heathen. That's in the law. Go ahead. I didn't say unclean.
You can't touch her.
No, that's unclean. Drugs is a sin. You're not a sinner. They're sinners.
That's right.
You understand? And that's what I really want to get into today. What I really want to teach y'all brothers today is that this Bible that we read is about our family culture. It's not religious. Adam is the first of our family to be in the truth. The Lord pulled Adam out of his family and made a family out of Adam. And we are really just Adam's children. We're Adam's family. Right? And Adam, we're trying to get back what Adam lost.
That's right.
Which is power and authority over all the beasts of the field.
Damn.
Of all the other nations. That's what we're trying to do. But there's always been a more subtle beast of any other beast in the field that we've always fought against. And we're trying to get the victory over this beast that's more subtle, which is now no longer a serpent. Now he's a great red dragon. He's grown from a garden snake to a python, to an anaconda, to a damn anaconda with wings. That's what our oppressor is now. And so we're trying to get what Adam lost. And the only way we can get that is for our family to follow our family culture again. How did Adam and Eve lose the kingdom? How did they lose the garden? And the reason, I want to give it to you in layman's terms. It's called the garden because it's in order, it's organized, it's neat, it looks good. Outside of the garden was the field. How does the field look? Weeds, trees, thorns, thistles, wild animals. It's crazy.
Yep.
Garden, clean, organized. You know where the carrots at. You know where the potatoes at. You know where everything is because it's in order. We're trying to get back to the order. So how did he lose that order? They started to follow the other nations. And then when they started to follow the other nations, they started to try to cover themselves in the other nations' culture. So that's what they were doing. They were covering themselves in, fig leaves. With the culture of another tree. The culture of another family tree. That's what they were doing. So the Lord saw them and was like, what are you doing? They was like, well, we was naked. Who told you was naked? Who told you needed to be covered? Because I had you where you were not ashamed of being who you were. Now you are ashamed and covering yourself. So now I'm going to give you something to cover yourself in. And he gave them calf skin, which is leather. And that's where this culture comes from. So now we got to get back to that culture. So that's why we got to talk about multiple wives. We got to talk about not eating pork. We got to talk about not celebrating Christmas. We got to talk about separating from America, not voting. Why? because that's not our culture. Christ didn't die for you to be an American. He died for you to be an Israelite. Again, we were in past times Ephesians. You were called Gentiles. You know what I'm talking about? Let me sit in my precepts real quick. In past times, we were called Gentiles. What I need. 1 second. Somebody find that scripture for me real quick.
Let me see.
Huh?
Is it Ezekiel?
No, it's in the New Testament. It's like Ephesians, like Galatians. Block it, y'all. Ephesians 2:11. This is what you have been. Christ died so that you could no longer be called a Gentile. What is a Gentile? Gentile is another nation, or it's an Israelite that left the Commonwealth of Israel to go out and squander your inheritance amongst the heathen.
Good.
You went out and squandered your inheritance amongst the other nations to go and live a party, revelous life. Because we have so many rules in our nation, and you wanted to go and have an orgy. You wanted to go and get high. And so to do that, what you had to do was leave your family. Because you couldn't do it in this house because our father is strict. Also, find me the parable of the prodigal son. Read what you got.
Got out of one concert. This is Ephesians chapter 2, verse 12. That at the time ye were without. Got out of one concert. This is Ephesians chapter 2, verse 11. Wherefore remember that ye being in the time past.
Ye being in what?
In the time past.
Ye being in time past were what?
Gentiles.
You were Gentiles in time past. Go ahead.
In the flesh.
In the what?
In the flesh.
Why? Because you were living like a Gentile. You were not circumcised. You were living, eating pork. You were doing things in your flesh that was defiling your flesh, and you were not following your culture, which disqualified you for the inheritance that our King died for. It disqualified you from being righteous in the eyes of the elders, and you were a castaway. Keep going.
Got out of one concert. Who are called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision in the flesh made by hand.
So the brothers that was raised in Jerusalem that know they Israelites, have always been Israelites, they look at you and they like, yeah, that's one of my brothers, but you a Gentile in the flesh. You walking up the street with that double bacon cheeseburger.
Damn.
Look at that Gentile. You walking up the street with that pan of crawfish. Look at that Gentile. By those that were called the circumcision. So we would be the ones that's called the circumcision because we righteous and keeping the law and doing everything that's right. And we would look at our brothers and say, filthy heathen, you a Gentile in the flesh. You understand? Keep going.
Got out of one concert. Verse 12. That at the time ye were without Christ.
At the time before Christ, you what?
Got out of one concert. Being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel.
Before Christ before Christ came, you didn't have a way back into the nation. Before Christ, You were an alien to the Commonwealth of Israel.
Good night.
You were an illegal alien, an illegal immigrant when you came into the nation of Israel. We didn't want you around us. You were filthy and disgusting. You were a sinner. Yuck.
Damn.
Go ahead. Yes, this is when they were stoning you under the Pharisees and the Sadducees. You were cast away from the Commonwealth of Israel. Go ahead.
Is this why Peter had to get that? I don't know if he got the parable or whatever about the unclean.
That is Acts chapter 10.
Kind of the one
Because he saw these brothers, he saw Cornelius in his Roman Italian band uniform, in his military uniform, and said, he unclean.
Damn.
But he knew he was his brother. And the Lord was like, call no man unclean. But he was like, damn, I gotta let them come back. Now, let me make it regular for you. What if Commander General Yana said, I want all my priests teaching in the gay club? What would you say?
I'm gonna say kind of the one time.
Right, but how would you feel about that? Like, hey, all the say it again?
It'd be weird,
Right.
but people in the world, they always say those are the best. Those are the best clubs. So like it.
So what you gonna
But
say?
it'd be weird.
See that? He'll say, no, I don't know about that, sir. Salakia. I'm gonna have to stand down on that. I got a slave today. Hey, Salakia, sir, I got a slave today. That's what Peter was on. Peter was like, no, I'm not gonna go and teach these unclean Gentiles.
Good night.
They are filthy and disgusting. They're sinners. And I don't want to be around sinners. The same way you feel about going in the gay club and teach. You understand? That's exactly how the Gentiles were looked at. Keep going.
God on the one kind, sir.
And
the strangers from the covenants of the promise.
And you were castaways and strangers to the promise that was given to our nation. So the promises that came to us, you couldn't get those promises no more because you were Gentiles. Keep going.
God on the one kind, having no hope.
Having what?
No hope.
Having no hope. Go ahead.
Without God in the world.
That's what our brothers and sisters is in the world.
Damn.
They don't have no hope. So now, because they have no hope, they believe in Buddha, Krishna, Kemet, Allah, and white Jesus. They believe in these different beliefs because they don't have no hope, because they couldn't come back. They don't have an identity. They don't know who they are. They just think they Gentiles, and now they think all the Gentiles can be saved.
Right.
That's not what this is about. This entire Bible, this entire book is about one family finally getting it right. One family coming back and doing what's right and being a family again. That's what the entire book is about. Keep going.
God on the one kind, sir. Verse 13. But now in Christ Jesus, ye who sometimes were far off are made nigh by the blood of Christ.
Who now, because Christ came, you were far off. You were a castaway. You were a Gentile. You were a stranger to us. Now, because of Christ, you can come back in and be close again. That's what this entire Bible is about. A lot of people think that we hate the other races. Like, oh, the white man, we gonna kill whitey because we say the white man is the devil. Why do we say the white man is the devil? Because everything they've done to us? No, I can't give you that. Because he's a liar. That's why we said the white man is the devil because he is the biggest liar on the earth. We can't just say he's a liar because there's other liars. We say he's the devil. It's like saying he's the GOAT. Now, what does it mean to be the GOAT? The greatest of all time. So what does that do? That puts him on a higher class than every other person on the field. Just calling him a liar, that's one thing. But calling him the GOAT, calling him the devil, that lets you know how much of a liar he is. So we don't just walk around hating other races. Who do we say hates the other races? The Most High hates them. The Most High that's his enemies. And we make whoever God's enemies our enemies. We just following orders. We not finna go out and attack nobody. Who's vengeance? Who's vengeance for? The Lord's. He said, vengeance is mine. I will repay. We're not going around talking about we hate people and we're going to do nothing to them. Christ said he's going to do it. That's all we saying. We saying one day our oppressors are going to pay for the crimes they've committed against God's chosen people, which is us. So we don't just walk around hating people and all that kind of stuff, because that would make us the same as them. If we hated them and just committed acts of crime on them because we hated them, then what would make us different than them?
Right.
Nothing. Nothing at all. So we're not like them. But when Christ comes, whatever Christ does to them, because we're followers of Christ, we're followers of Christ, right?
I don't want to come,
We're
sir.
going to do whatever Christ does.
I don't want to
We're
come.
going to follow our King. So if Christ is just taking heathens and putting them in chains and bringing them back to the land, then we're going to take the heathens and put them in chains and bring them back to the land.
That's right.
If Christ walks up to him and says, all right, all heathens, single file line, go get on the chariot. We're going to take you back to the other land, and y'all are going to work for us. And then the people say, hell no, you nigger. I'm never going where you're going. And he walks up to him and he slaps him. Shut up. Get your ass on this chair. Then when somebody else speaks up against us, we're going to say, shut up and get your ass on this chair.
That's right.
But give me Luke 19:27.
The book of Luke, chapter 19, verse 27. But those my enemies, which would not that I should reign over them.
But if we go into a city and Christ said, everybody that wants me to be rulers over you, take a knee, bend the knee. And they said, hell no, Trump's my president. I'm American. Biden's my president. I don't bend the knee to no terroristic threat. Christ said, those mine enemies, what?
Bring them hither.
No, which?
Oh, Slakia. Which would not that I should reign over them.
You don't want me to reign over you because Trump is your Lord. Biden is your president. Then do it.
Bring hither.
Bring where?
Hither.
What does bring hither mean?
Bring here.
Bring him here. And do what?
And slay them.
Pray for them.
Slay them.
Hug them.
Slay them.
Love them.
Slay them.
Slay them where?
Before me.
Now, if we see Christ say, hey, we don't listen, bring them over here and slay them before me. Then we're going to follow Christ and bring you hither and slay you in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because we are followers of Christ.
That's right.
And whatever Christ says for us to do in that day, we will do. So you don't have to fear us. You have to fear Christ. because he's giving the order to his army. And we are soldiers. We're proving how much of soldiers we are now because we're following his words through a book. That's a different type of faith.
That's it.
We're following his words through a book, and we didn't see him write the book. We didn't see him have nothing to do with the book. The book said it, and we like, I believe in him, and so I'm gonna just do it because just in case.
God don't want to come.
Christ gonna come back and tell you, you have been a faithful servant. And now, since you were faithful over a few things, I'll make you ruler over many. And now I can tell you to bring him here because I know you'll follow my word. You read it and then followed it. You'll for damn sure listen to me saying it.
That's right. That's
what we teach here. So a lot of people don't understand it because they don't understand that this entire Bible is about you finally getting your inheritance back. Go ahead.
Like I said, precept about Christ come back and tell us we do what we're supposed to do. Second Ezra 13, verse 26.
Read it. Give me the prodigal son.
Tell them to walk out.
It says, "Did I say to the angel, putting palms, putting palms in their hands?
Mm-hmm.
He asked and said to me, he is the Son of God. They confess in the world."
That's it. Yeah, excellent. Give him a hand. Excellent, Christian.
What the hell?
All right. Yeah, go up.
Yeah. That's like the end.
Go to the top.
What is it?
Start at verse 1.
Sorry, 11. I think it's 11 and 32. Yeah, 11.
Oh, that was good. But don't worry about it. Start at verse 11.
God don't want God, sir.
Where we at?
It's the book of Luke, chapter 15, verse 11. And he said, a certain man had 2 sons. Verse 12. And the younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the portion of the good that's fallen to me. And he divided unto them his living. Verse 13. And not many days after the younger son gathered all together and took his journey into a far country. And there was wasted his substance with riotous living. Verse 14. And when he had spent all, there arose a mighty famine in the land. And he began to be in want.
This is a story about the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. And the Lord is talking about his 2 sons. Who is his 2 sons? Judah and Ephraim. One son stayed at home and did what the Lord said to do. The other son wanted to go out and live his best life. That's what he did. And when he was out spending all his wealth, spending all his inheritance, then a famine came on the land and he began to be in want. He began to be poor, not be so rich because he came from a rich and royal family. But he just spent his money down so low, but now he's in need. Keep going.
Thought I don't want concert. Verse 15. And he went and joined himself to a citizen of that country.
Then he went and joined himself to heathens. Other people that's not his family. Go ahead.
God, I don't want concert. And he sent him into the fields to feed swine.
And then he gave him a slavery.
Damn.
This other nation gave him a slavery and gave him the lowest job he can have as a prince. This prince, this heathen took this prince and made him go and feed the dirtiest animal he had on his farm. Keep going.
Verse 16. and he would have and he would fain have filled his belly with the husk that swine did eat, and no man gave unto him.
And then he gave him the swine to eat. None of his men was eating the swine, but he got you eating the swine. Keep going.
Verse 17. And when he came to himself, he said, how many hired servants of my father have bread enough to spare, and I perish with hunger.
He said, man, my father got servants and they not hungry. I'm out here working for him and I'm hungry. I'm about to die over being hungry. I can just go back home and work for my daddy, because at least if I work for him, I wouldn't be hungry. Because my father's servants got food to spare. So I'll go back home and be a servant. Keep going.
Verse 18. I will arise and go to my father, and will say unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before thee. Verse 19. And am no more worthy to be called thy son.
You know what he came back saying? Go ahead.
Salakia, sir, if I may.
He came back saying, Salakia, I was wrong. And I sinned. That's all the Lord wants from you. All the Lord wants from you is a broken and contrite spirit.
That's right.
And for you to say, Salakia, I'd never do it again.
That's right.
Keep going.
Sir. Make me as one of thy hired servants.
He's like, I don't even want to come back in as a son anymore. Just let me be a servant. Go ahead.
Verse 20. And he rose and came to his father. But when he was yet a great way off, his father saw him and had compassion and ran and fell on his neck and kissed him.
His father saw him walking and said, is that Ephraim? My boy is back home. Ran and gave him a hug and kissed him. In his mind, he thought he was going to have to beg for a way back in. In his mind, his father would never accept him. All his father wanted him to do is go out there and see it's better in here than it is out there. Keep going.
Sir. Verse 21. And the son said unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and in thy sight, and am no more worthy to be called thy son.
You see what he said? This brother came back humble. Keep going.
Sir. Verse 22. But the father said to his servants, bring forth the best robe.
The what?
Best robe.
Mm-hmm.
And put it on him, and put a ring on his hand and shoes on his feet.
He say, man, Jeffro, go get him a good robe, go get him some jewelry, and welcome my son back in the house. We're about to have a party. Keep going.
Sir. And bring hither the fattened calf.
Go ahead.
And kill it, and let us eat it and be merry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What was that? What was that fattest calf name? What you always say? You gotta say it, sir. Salakia.
To my Betsy.
I'm talking about Betsy. I'm talking about Cap always say, hey, go get Betsy.
Yes, Betsy the fat.
Hey, Salakia. Verse 24. For this my son was dead.
Say it again.
For this my son was dead.
See, all in the Bible that talks about how we were dead. That's why Ezekiel said he saw a valley of dry bones.
That's right.
Because when you are in the world, you are dead. When you are not in the truth, you're dead.
That's right.
To the Most High in Christ. But what?
And is alive again.
But you can come into this body and you can be born again.
That's right.
You can be alive again. Keep going.
Coming to one kind. He was lost and is found. And they began to be merry.
He was what?
Lost.
He was what?
Lost.
What do you call right now?
Lost.
Sheep. You the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
That's right.
But you come up in here, and now you have been found.
Damn.
Now you're in the home of the truth. You're back home. Just like the prodigal son. That's what the entire Bible is about. You being lost and finding your way back home. Keep going.
Coming to one kind, sir. Verse 25. Now the elder son was in the field, and he came and drew nigh into the house. He heard music and dancing.
Keep going.
Coming to one kind, sir. Verse 26. And he called one of the servants and asked, what these things meant.
He's like, what the hell going on? Why is this a celebration? Go ahead.
Coming to one kind, sir. Verse 27. And he said unto him, thy brother is come, and thy father has killed the fatted calf, because he has received him safe and sound.
He's like, it's a celebration because your brother is back. Not another nation, not all of the people from around the corner. Your brother is back. We have been a nation divided for so long, and our mission right now is to get our brothers back in this house.
That's right.
Because the celebration is going to be great. And there are some brothers, there are some of your brothers that feel just like him. We argue with him all the time. Right. One of them called me all the time. Go ahead, read.
Coming to one kind. Verse 28. And he was angry.
He was happy.
He was angry.
He was about the family.
He was angry.
He said what?
And would not go in. Therefore came his father out and entreated him.
See, this is how Peter felt. Peter didn't want them back. They were unclean. Like, I don't want to be around the sinners. Keep going.
Coming to one kind, sir. Verse 29. And he answered and said to his father, lo, these many years do I serve thee, neither transgress I at any time thy commandment, and yet thou never gavest me a kid, that I might make merry with my friends.
He's like, I ain't never left. I've been loyal. That's Judah, boy. Judah just wants some recognition. Judah want a pat on the back. Judah don't want nobody getting no praise. And that's what happened. He's like, why you ain't never threw me no party with my friends? I never did anything wrong. And that's how the Pharisees and Sadducees look. And that's how Peter was struggling with at the beginning. He was thinking like, man, I don't want to go out there. Even though he saw the vision, it was something that he was dealing with. Keep going.
God on one concert, verse 30. But as soon as thy son was come, which has devoured the living with harlots, thou hast killed for him the fatted calf. Verse 31. And he said unto him, son, thou art ever with me, and all that I have is thine. Verse 32. It was meet that we should make merry and be glad, for this thy brother was dead and is alive again, and was lost and is found.
This is what's so important. We got to be a family again. Blacks, Hispanics, and independents, in order for us to get the garden again. You can't be mad at your brother and hate your brother, because that's not what this is about. You got to bring your brother in and unite your brother, because that's what this is all about. This whole thing that we're doing ain't about nothing but family.
That's right.
And our Father wants to give us everything. One more scripture, I'm done. Give me Psalms 2. Psalms 2. And 8.
The book of Psalms, chapter 2, verse 8. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance.
Listen, man, if you just ask the Lord, he'll give you these other nations as your inheritance. Because that's what they are. They are a reward for your hard work. They are a good day of pay. You got a paycheck before? Imagine if you get workers to where you never have to work. Imagine if you could have 400 men working in your yard for 400 years of free labor. Imagine how rich you would get. Imagine if all of us worked and put all of our paychecks in one pot. 2, 4, 6, it's 8 of us in here. If 8 men work for a year and put all of our paychecks in one pot for a year, we can make money quick. Make a good $500,000 a year, easy, right? Now imagine doing that for 400 years and you got 400 slaves on your plantation. Imagine how wealthy those slave masters were. Well, guess what the Lord said? Ask of me, I'll give you the heathen for your inheritance. Go ahead.
Yeah, come on one kind. So like if I may. That's what we can really learn from Issacharites. Because what I know about Issacharites is like what they'll do is they'll get 4 families in the house. Mm-hmm. Then 1 month, this family pays this house, the rent. Mm-hmm. This month, this family pays the rent. And they're able to accumulate so much money because you don't have to pay every month. You're only going to have to pay once, but every 4 months. Right. You know, so and that helps.
And let me say this too, because I know a lot of people. I got a brother that I talk to. He kind of struggles with the truth because I think his mother is African, right? And so he feels like he's a traitor to his mother by coming into the truth. And I tell him all the time, I said, we your family too. Right? We just your daddy's side of the family. Your mama's side of the family is one side of the family, and your daddy's side of the family is another side of the family. You can't get mad at us that your mother's side of the family has always hurt us.
That's right.
You can't get mad at that. Your mother's side of the family have beaten your father up, had him in jail. You know, all the things that they've done to us. You can't get mad that our side of the family don't want to be unified with her side of the family. And he said that makes sense. I said, so you're not being a traitor to your family because we're not telling you to hate your mother's side of the family.
Right.
Because you should still love your family.
Right.
I'm not telling you that don't hate this side of the family. They're still your family. But just know that this side of the family is the one that's going to win in the end.
That's right.
That's what you should put in your chest. Keep going.
Thought I want to cuss out. Verse 9. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron.
This is what's going to happen to him. No, go back to 8. You didn't finish 8.
Oh, Salakia. In the uttermost parts of the earth. Come on the one count, sir. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 2, verse 8. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, in the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession.
I'm going to give you slaves and land. All you got to do is ask for, what are you praying for? A man, a woman, a better job, be comfortable in life for the rest of your life. You want a boat? You want a summer house? What you praying for? And then guess what happened? You get it.
Right.
You start praying for stuff and you start getting it. Well, guess what? If you pray for slaves, you'll get that too. You ask them for the uttermost parts of the earth, you'll get that too. Go ahead.
Come to one concern, so like if I may. So he's saying right here, he would give us the uttermost parts of the earth. But right now, what do we pray for? We pray for a street corner. We're the 83rd Crips.
Yep.
We're the rolling 60s, the rolling 20s.
Yep.
We praying for a street that we don't even own. And he's telling us he will give us the uttermost parts of the earth. The parts of the earth we don't even know about. He will give us. So
That's heavy. Go ahead.
Like if I remember 2018, I was working in a box truck, and I was praying to the Lord. I was like, I'm gonna deliver this to such and such. And I make on my slave, like this, on parts of my slave. Then when I pull up, right, I'm running late, purpose. And he's like, do this. Like, nah, he couldn't do it. And then he do it, right? He's like, get this. I'm gonna report him. And then I would say, and here they have later.
All you gotta do is ask the Lord. You can't be afraid. You can't be afraid to ask the Lord for something, man. Keep going.
God on the one concert. Verse 9. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron.
We gonna vote.
Break them with a rod of iron.
It's gonna be a rod of iron that's gonna be passed around. The Lord is going to break them, and He's gonna let us break them with the rod of iron. And then what?
Thou shalt dash them into pieces like a potter's vessel.
I ain't said.
Good night.
This is what has to happen. They got to be broken. Why? Because they're so hard-headed and stiff-necked and evil toward people. We asked for an apology for over 200 years. We've been asking for an apology. We asked for reparations. We asking for all types of things where they could just try to make things better. And they say no. So Christ got to come and say, all right, y'all, dash them into pieces. Right. Break them. What we got to do. So this entire Bible is about the inheritance of one family.
That's right.
About us finally coming together again and being one family, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Right. We really want the American dream that you believe in is what we're going to have in the kingdom of heaven. We're going to be at the top of society. Damn. And you're going to be at the bottom, but we won't treat you the way you treated us.
That's right.
And that's the Bible. But, no, we won't treat you the way you treated us. There will be a time.
We will
do unto them double as they have done unto us. But we're going to see what Christ do first.
That's right.
And we're going to follow his lead. All right. Any more questions online?
Let me check that, sir. Sir.
All right, with that, we're going to pass the class over to Super Yatazaq. Go ahead. Give me
New York. Brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters come to the school. They are off for the next 6 months. They are community home. They are quick to share themselves on the world. And each information, each one array. After 6 months, a brother or sister has to enter a particular person. He or she looking ahead to speak to a brother or sister. Another 6 months, in which the brother and sister will report each other. After this 6 months period, brothers and sisters get against marriage. 1821, the mother got 10. They take and give I 6% everything in a different little bit. Give the church we're offer for free. Not answer. Whatsoever the rest of the life.
Upcoming holy convocations, the memorial of blowing of the trumpets, the first day of the 7th month, Wednesday, the 2nd of October, 2024. We find this in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verses 24 and 25.
All black.
boot, shirt, pants, and then scarf. With that, that's it.
All right, with that, Amaju, make a stand. So we're gonna give a courtesy salute to the brothers and men of Israel, Amaju Shabbat. Mike. Yadim Matah. So, gonna give a courtesy salute to the sisters, men of Israel, Amaju Shabbat. Mike. Barak.
Yahweh Shemol Latamba Shim Yahushua.
Yadim Matah. Class dismissed.